episode 13, the finale of season 2. Yes.
Yep.
All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Mob Psycho 100, season 2, episode 13, the finale.
All right.
Oh.
We're here. We're here.
Yep, we're here.
Oh boy.
Wow. Suzuki and Mob are gonna fight.
Yep.
And that is about all we can expect. Do you have any theories?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be glorious.
Absolutely insane.
It's going to be wondrous. I do, however, really want to have an ending that feels worthy of a season's kind of final ending. That's one of the issues I had with season 1 ending, where they had the goofy little search for the random creature with Mob and Reagan. I want none of that. I want like a final, complete ending thing here with like...
Yeah, I think they'll do that because they're on the final episode and they haven't resolved everything. So like, and I don't think they'll resolve it that quickly. So if if at most we might get like a little bit of like showing them going back to their daily life, maybe. But
yes, but I would like some of that basically. If they spend the first half of the episode on the fight, that's cool. Yep. But I don't want I don't want it to be like, you know, starting a whole nother episode.
I don't think there will be much issue with that.
Okay.
Wow.
But other than that, y'all, I'm so freaking hyped right now. Yeah. There's been so many things with the characters done here, and now with us just basically having Mob and Suzuki with like half of a skyscraper just like, you know, floating in the sky.
They even already had Reagan like interfere. So now it's just
this is gonna be Mob's
no
episode.
More boxes to check, really.
Yeah. Guys, this has been Mob's season, really.
Yes.
But like
quite literally, but
let
also
this be like Mob's, you know, like this is his moment. Oh,
are you ready?
I'm ready. Without further ado, let's get into it. Get ready, wake your psyche up, Mob. Get ready, dig your anger up, Mob. Get ready, wake your psyche up, Mob. Get ready, coming down. Could you feel your satisfaction? You're a mob. Can't you feel your own frustration? Coming down. Could you feel your own satisfaction? You're a mob. What you want to be in my hand. 乱してく感情は身にまとうと break it down. 限界超え見る景色は 99.9 99.9 手手不明破産点チェンジ Could write my life, could write my psyche, could write my heart in such common places. Is that your ideal? Is that your mind? The mob is alive, the mob is high, the mob is staying frustrated, aren't you? Is that your ideal? Is that your mind? It must have goo. Whoa, whoa, your life is your own. Get ready, ready to psyche up, Mob. Get ready, dig your anger up, Mob. Get ready, wake your psyche up, Mob. Get ready.
I love that Teru is the pillar that everything revolves around, right?
The boss fight, final fight, final light.
All right,
everything. Here we go. It's classic music. Here we go. Output to 20%.
Nice. Yeah.
Planetary devastation. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, his eyes.
Yes.
I love
Please
it.
And thank you,
all of the everything.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow. Mob is laughing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hope Bob's gonna be okay, like, throughout this. Not like physically, but like emotionally.
Oh,
yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Jeez.
Right.
Oh, Mob, buddy.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, good. Let's fight with words, yeah. He's like, I am the luckiest. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I love this meta dialogue in Mob Psycho. It's amazing. Yeah, connections.
Oh.
Connections.
Right.
Right.
Must have been lonely.
Wow. Empathy.
Feels bad for you.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Bones. Oh my god.
Wow.
This is so hype. Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Gone. Here he is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's blood.
Uh-huh.
You just put him right back. They just swapped places. Holy crap. And now it's gonna fall on top of him.
Just a bit.
Hey, you guys might want to leave it.
Yeah, like just the fact
be a
that
little
that
too
fell
close.
on Earth, like that might cause problems for the human race.
Yeah, it didn't accelerate to enough speed, but yeah.
But like that thing's huge.
Yeah, thankfully it wasn't actually that stable either. Oh, is he aging? His
Maybe.
voice sounds older. No. Okay. Oh. Dang.
To show you a new path.
Yeah.
That's very different than beating him.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't have enough power to reach you, is the thing. Yeah,
Oh my god!
Oh god. Oh no.
Whoa! Oh! Oh! Yep, here we go. This is it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Power of Nakama. Look at this.
Yep.
Look at this.
Oh yeah, I'm loving this visual.
music.
I am loving this visual. And he rises. Whoa.
Body improvement! Yeah! 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 Oh yes! So good! This is so over the top, I love it. Whoa. Oh my god!
No. Wait a minute. They can't run? That's not gonna be enough. Mob's not running. Yeah.
No, he's got to defend you all.
Yep.
Wow. Now he's gonna take you in. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
His hair.
Yeah. The animation, oh my god. Yes, Mob. Yes! Oh, yes! This is so good.
Oh, yeah. No one deserves to die alone.
Yeah. This is,
Yep,
this is
yep,
so
yep.
wholesome. I love it. Backstory?
だって雨のなんだもの。どうしてあんな乱暴なやり方をしたの？能力じゃ人の心を動かせない。
Oh.
誰でもそう思う。さよなら。
Yep, goodbye.
Mhm.
Yep. Wow.
And he's so small.
So blind.
When did you forget?
So blind, too. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. No, he succeeded. He succeeded. He definitely succeeded.
No. Okay.
Wow. This is crazy. This is crazy, y'all. That was so good. Oh. Oh. Awesome. They had to dig their way to him.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wait. What happened?
この地面コンクリートじゃ大爆発にしては無事だけどどういうこと
Yeah.
いやもうダメかと思ったぞ爆心地は絶望的な状況だろうなんだありゃおい
He's not listening to. I think he's just tired of how Reagan's trying to like exposit, and he's just like, "I'm not listening."
途中まで僕が運ぶから寝てていいよ
There you go. What is this? What is this behind them? Just 3 days.
Okay.
お前らちょっと狭いけどなんとかなるだ
Yeah.
露骨に嫌そうな顔する
Oh wait, didn't the?
僕は大丈夫です
I guess that was the office that they got blown up.
And where's Suzuki? Is he dead or?
I think he died.
Yeah. Tracksuit thief!
心臓止まった
だがびっくりしたぞ。もし
いやー皆さんが集ま
理解増部3泊4日の強化トレーニングだ。
Of course we will! Oh, that's my new background! That's my new background!
こそ助け合いだろう。
書いてまして
俺のばあちゃんちなら
Oh, what a guy! Yes!
90分もジョギングすれば
レゲさん助けてよかったな頑張れよお前ら
He's getting out of it like so easily. Oh my god.
Bye.
How cruel.
連れてた寝てもらえばよかった
Oh, he went to the office.
Yeah.
He went to the office. What?
Hold on a second.
Wait, what? It's a plant?
手がどうなったらこ
Is that broccoli?
Is it
I
broccoli?
think that's broccoli.
What? What?
You've got to be kidding me.
What?
You've got to be kidding me.
That's hilarious! Oh my gosh. What?
お前これからどうするんだ。
Yeah, this is where is everyone now kind of thing.
新しい生き方をさ。
Oh.
何でもやるか。お前に
Nice!
客商売は無理だ。体力を生かせ。ぐらいはどうするんだ。
Okay, there you go.
あさってコンビニの目
Mobdonald's.
Mm-hmm.
世話になろうか。
Oh my gosh.
あんた接客向いてないよちょっと暗いもん
Aw.
Aw.
He can get better at that.
一連の取り憑かれた犯罪集団による犯行と言ってまさか民間のエスパーに敗れて出頭とはね
Suzuki?
プロの立場がないな
I think so.
親父はどうなる
普通に考えれば極刑は免れないだろうが社長
芹沢、私はお前たちを心から仲間だとは思っていなかったんだ。
Okay.
気に病む必要はない。
And that's the most selfless
他
thing
人に
he's
つ
ever
け込ま
done.
れやすい。
Yeah.
気をつけるんだな。
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Suzuki.
Way to go.
お前には母親に合わせて私の傲慢がつながりを引き裂いてしまう。
Yeah.
本当にすまなかった。
Dang.
たまに会ってるよ母ちゃんなら
Oh! Dang! What a twist! That's
母ちゃん
great!
に親父の今
Whoa!
今朝で今度会いに行くってさあった気になるのよ
Oh yeah, you've got some.
まだ
Dang.
母ちゃんに怒られる
Yep.
役目が残ってる
Well done, show.
Both show and show.
Oh yes. Yeah, you were basically offered a whole nother chance.
A whole
but-
nother life.
Wow.
Wow.
Dang. He was proved wrong in like the best possible way.
Mhm.
配線かじったらしくてなおかげで火災保険も降りたし新しい事務所で
There you go. There you go.
モブあれやってくれ助かったぜ
So I'm
Whoa.
guessing that's where the broccoli came from.
Uh-huh.
学ランの穴見出したポッケに入れてたのブロッコリーの種だ
Oh my
ブロ
god.
ッコリーあの
What?
時の種が
なるほどな
あ師匠あれって
たことにして
So Salt City and or Salt Middle School and
起
broccoli.
きたか
Broccoli Plaza. Hey, Sarazawa!
申し訳ないどうも
Oh, yes.
ここで働くんですか
Oh my gosh, of course he is. Of course he is.
That's right.
それに組織が迷惑を受けないも兼ねて
Oh, and the cool thing about this is that I'll save it for the discussion. Yeah, I'll save it for the discussion.
その前にこれだったそのままじゃ仕事になら
No, it's his broccoli hair. Don't. Oh, okay.
Oh dang.
But it's gonna make him look
Yeah.
that much more professional.
uh-huh. Yep.
Wow. Oh, look at him.
You're gonna do great.
まで殴れって指示だったんで
The hell?
でも大体同じ。なんかわからない場合に聞いてくれ。マブ。
Oh,
研修
yeah.
期間、いろいろ教えてやってくれ。
Cool.
よろしくお願いします影山先輩
よろしくお願いします。
What is Dimple doing with that hair? It was like an Elvis toupee or something. Oh my gosh.
そちらにおかけするぞ。
Dang.
ダメだこりゃ
We're doomed. Yes.
Wow.
What a happy ending, though.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. That
That
was a
episode
perfect
was just-
finale.
Yeah.
That was a perfect
absolutely.
finale.
Like, nothing needed to be changed.
Yeah.
Nothing needed to be added or removed. It was just... Wow.
Yeah. Shimazuki is still out there, but I mean,
Well, okay.
he's traumatized, and he'll probably like
Yeah.
show up next season being like, I've changed my life entirely. Like,
Right.
But oh my god, Suzuki was proven wrong
Mm-hmm.
exactly how I would want him to.
Yep.
Specifically from Mob, first of all. Like their
Yeah.
whole fight being something that was ultimately boiled down to a conversation when Mob's opponent was the one that was going to be exploding. Like all
Right.
of the fights ending in all of the fights ended in season 1 with kind of like Mob exploding essentially. But this one ended with the enemy exploding and Mom basically sitting down with me being like, it's okay. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I'm
make
gonna
this okay.
be with you to the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with you throughout this whole thing. And Suzuki
Yeah.
as a character, I think you had to kind of go this route in order to give him a proper, I would say, character arc. If you
Right,
will.
because he was very one track and everything at the beginning.
Mhm.
So having that be the point of his character, and that
Right.
he's realizing all the things that
he
he's
missed
out
blind
on.
to. He was missing
right,
out.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because of that was
Exactly.
a great way to make it so that everything that was happening with his character before was actual active characterization as opposed to just
Right.
passive characterization.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, starting with the foundation of something that's actually going to go somewhere instead of it being a dead end. One of the things with, I would say, this type of villain power, I'm the greatest top-down archetype, is that they usually end up being a dead end with their character development, just realizing that they were wrong,
Exactly.
but not understanding why they were wrong.
Right.
And that's kind of you can do that in a cool way by having it be the tragedy of them never really figuring it out, but by him realizing where he was blind to this whole thing, I think beautifully shown actually also in Show's scene with him,
Yes.
where
Yes.
he's basically saying, "Oh, I see Mom constantly, or I see Mom, pretty frequently," and he's like, "Wait, what?"
Really?
Like,
Yeah, she
like,
asked about you, and
there are powers beyond psychic powers
Exactly.
that give you abilities that you do not have right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The ability to have Mom be there for you and love you and not want to take your head off because Suzuki, she's gonna be like, you done screwed things up big time,
Royally.
and you're gonna need to
Mm-hmm.
you need to change, or at the very least be willing to change. And I think
Right.
he is.
Well, that's what it starts with, is the thing.
Yeah, that's what it starts with.
And now he is willing because
Right. But I mean, continually be willing to change,
exactly.
of course.
And one of the things that's so nice about this is that in a lot of ways, having the redemption at the very end for the villain that has been
by the
doing
power
all,
of Nakama.
right, by the power of Nakama,
Yep.
that's been doing all these crazy things.
Yep.
It doesn't really work a lot of the time.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't work this quickly is the thing, because with the amount of time that they actually spent on the fight and everything, the amount of time that they spent on his whole redemptive angle, they were able to have him make a shift very well, but also very easily.
Quickly, yeah.
And that's something that I would not have expected if not for the fact that it was something where, again, single point of failure. He had his one crutch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that collapsed.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I guess I was wrong. Like,
Right.
there is more to life, which is a great kind of lesson to put in there too, because we can, like, even if it's not psychic powers, we
Right.
can totally get hung up on specific things, or it could be anything, right?
For sure.
And we think that it's more than it is, and we worship that one thing, right? And then we realize, oh, hold on now. It's just a thing.
It's just a thing.
It's just a thing.
Yeah. It's in the same ways that, Mob and Serizawa looked up to their senpais, their senseis, as being these, perfect bastions of their safety and security and their vision and their future, if you will.
And they're still just people.
They're just people.
Yep.
In fact, they're very flawed people.
Yep.
And what's beautiful about that was we had both of those characters end up coming to the realization by the end of this season that that's the case. Not only that, but also they can then submit themselves. This is I think something that's very interesting, specifically because they did this with Serizawa, is that he went to Reagan, the person who had been using someone in the same way that the president had, because Reagan has learned his lesson, and because Serizawa has learned his lesson, there's going to be no abuse there. There's going to be verbiage that Reagan will use in a way that could be seen as manipulative, basically saying, hey, now this is going to be a way for you to make things right.
Right.
Reagan is right here.
And,
He's
and
absolutely
does Reagan
right there.
benefit from it? In some small way, he has another worker.
Yeah.
But in another way, it is a way for Serizawa to, through his own efforts, true efforts, be able to get his life back on track.
Yes.
And that's
it's so wholesome.
Yeah, like
it's so good.
Because the thing is that there are so many shows out there. There's so many shows out there that do the basic like hero going up against the villain and fighting them and all that stuff, and the power of Nakama.
Yep.
And you can do that, and it's great, right? But this is what makes Mob Psycho stand apart from the crowd, right? Because I don't think I've ever seen a show that goes into the sort of life lessons as well as Mob Psycho does, while having all the traditional like stereotypes and cliches
of a good shonen,
Exactly. But they do that.
Yeah.
And they stick to it.
They do.
And
they really do.
Yeah.
So we end up having a finale where we have the epic throwdown fight with the crazy animation, with the villain achieving multiple final forms towards the end of this whole thing, increasing their output of power levels and all that. Mob ends up realizing throughout all of this that this is the exact same kind of situation he put Ritsu through when they were little kids. That almost just broke me, but then I realized the positive spin on this. I think if something was like,
it's Mob realizing what he has to fight for, kind of a thing.
And it's something that's so beautiful, because I remember in previous episodes of Mob, things like that would like give me the feels and stuff like that. But something like, I just felt like 100% like pride. Like I was just like, Mob, you get it. You're so like, this is you just realizing who you are and what you can be and who you can like be for. And it's just, it's so good. It's like he's grown up so much, guys. He's grown up so much.
Because there were so many parts where I was cheering for Mob that he was really giving it his all.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was like, he's really trying to take this guy out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he was laughing. He was
giddily
enjoying this whole thing.
He was losing himself, right? Yep. It was something where, again, the conflict was not about who would win with psychic powers, right? The whole thing of Suzuki going up in percentages and stuff, it was almost glossed over. Like when it finally went to 100%, it was like, okay, yeah, he's doing it, but that's just a part of like him processing kind of the foundation crumbling underneath him of his whole life up to this point.
Right.
And in the same way, kind of for Mob, it's that he's going into new territory. He's realizing this part of himself that he had denied for a long time because of things like this, right? Where he doesn't want it to go dark. But the thing is that he went into the other ditch.
Oh, sure.
He went into the other ditch where he never stood up for himself, right? Because there are things that should make you mad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a big difference between getting mad and acting in anger. Right?
Oh, good point.
And the thing is that he over-adjusted and went into the acting in anger. And then he saw Ritsu and he remembered that. And that there's a big difference between being angry and acting in anger.
Yeah, letting your power control you.
Exactly.
Versus you controlling your power.
Right.
Because active will, making choices and things like that is what this show is all about.
Exactly.
It's about making good choices to not only better yourself, but to better yourself for the sake of bettering others.
Right. That's what makes good stories. It's the choices. It's not the actual plot things that happen.
Yep.
It's the why of the plot things. It's the fact that the characters need to decide what plot things are going to happen. That's
Yep.
that's when it ends up being impactful. And that part where because here's the thing. He could have made a field and been on the outside of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He didn't.
Nope.
He went in there with him.
Yep.
That's some Madoka level like
it is.
Like that's
I'm so glad you pointed that out because
okay.
it took me about 2 or 3 seconds longer to figure it out. And I was like, oh my god, you're right.
Like because the thing is because Mob had come to the conclusion of like, yeah, I'm probably going to die here. I'm not strong enough, right?
Yep.
You know, and he still went in there with him.
Mm-hmm.
He still went in there with him. His enemy,
Mm-hmm.
like in some ways, this is even beyond Madoka because this person, he has no reason to believe the best in this person.
No reason to redeem
He has no
this guy.
evidence, no anything, right?
Yep.
This guy is just a messed up individual,
And
right?
he says it over and over again. He's like, I'm giving you chances.
Yep,
but no.
exactly. And again and again, he nope. And still he goes in there with him and he says, no one should die alone. I'm gonna be here with you to the end.
Yeah.
That's
seriously
love.
powerful stuff.
That's incredible. That's Mob's true strength. It's not his psychic powers. It's not his psychic powers. His psychic powers, may be limitless, in that sense potentially. Although we did kind of see the limit here. Well, in a way, sort of.
Well, that's actually a really good point to bring up. I want to say actually Mob intentionally kept from trying to break past his limits here because he didn't want to let the power control him.
Sure.
And
yeah,
one
I
of
can
the
definitely
things
see that. Yep.
Yes, and one of the things that I feel like this show is trying to subtly point at is anytime someone has an explosion in this story, it's when they actually go blind to everything except one thing.
Sure.
A certain emotion, for instance. So Mob has his explosions of a specific emotion.
Yeah.
He can't have any balance with other emotions because he's 100% rage, 100% sadness, 100% positive, like gratitude or something. That's good. But Mob is talking about having control, about having agency, mastery, balance. Yes.
Yep.
All these things that Suzuki basically doesn't have.
Right.
So Suzuki explodes, which I'm actually really wondering if we could analyze this and figure out what he exploded with. Because they call it output, right?
Uh-huh.
But if he was hollow, if he was living a hollow life, what was he outputting? And I think we could probably find something with that. Maybe pride. Because pride is basically false ego. Basically the faux ego. And ego is tied to your ego, yourself, who you are. So it's a false identity.
So then he was fully embracing that false identity so that it could then be burned away. Right.
Whoa.
And that's what Mob basically helped him do. And
oh my god, and then he basically took all that energy and channeled it
into
himself to basically be like, I'll take it all.
Right.
But that's where the broccoli seeds happen to be. And Mob's wholesome, creative, love, powerful energy, spirit, whatever.
I will just say
infused it into that and created the broccoli.
That was love there. That was some Disney love conquers all stuff right there. Because the broccoli seeds being right over his heart, that's not a coincidence.
It is not a coincidence.
Right?
No,
that was very intentional. And it grew something weird,
but beautiful,
right? That people will marvel at for quite a long time, right? And that changed him.
It did.
That changed Suzuki completely. Like,
Yeah. Well done, Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho, you are amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving us this wonderful, wholesome entertainment that goes beyond entertainment.
Yeah, I think that Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 specifically is making me like happy to be alive right now.
Yeah, it's
just the idea that I got to watch it weekly is like it's so good. It's so good.
And to think that like how terrified we were with all the Mogami Keiji stuff. Like because that scared me. That scared. I mean, maybe not you as much, but like,
no. It scared me too. But I think in my head is I can't even remember what that was like because I'm so shook by everything that happened here.
Yeah.
So I want to go actually back to that whole thing of Suzuki's explosion. So Mob exploded here and was 100% rage, right? He snaps out, I think, of his explosion by seeing Ritsu
Sure.
and seeing Ritsu's terror and fear of this whole thing, and seeing Mob be scared of him. And it's similar in a lot of ways. I mean, they actually pointed out in the show a couple episodes ago, or last episode, the show sees Suzuki in the same way. You know, they have that kind of thing going there.
Yep.
It's another cool parallel. But Mob didn't ever go percentage, you know.
Yep.
So that was not Mob's limits in terms of power. If we're talking in terms of strength, he could have gone further.
Right. And in fact, he said that there. I'm not strong enough to save you or something. Basically something like that.
Basically. And Suzuki was almost trying to call it out without knowing he was calling it out. By being like, awaken, like, wake up, like, let's you're not finished here. And he's like,
you've stoked my rage, you can't just
you have to deal with my, whatever. And Mob's like, I won't. Like, no, I'm not going to. And it's so beautiful because the mechanic, it seems, of the question mark thing is whenever he gets knocked out, that thing comes up. Like, it's not when he's actively conscious or what have you. So it's almost as if Mob's saying, like, I won't go to sleep on you. I won't leave you here. Because if he did that, then I think Suzuki would truly be alone, because that thing is not Mob. It's some kind of other.
Yeah.
Now, they're not bringing that up here, so that's obviously going to be saved for a future storyline and such. But the fact that Suzuki was defeated here, I think, by Mob taking on his explosion. Let's think about it this way. If Suzuki was hollow, and the only thing he was outputting in terms of, we're talking in the metaphysical sense, was his pride, basically his false ego, his lack of identity in anything other than his power.
Yeah.
I think that Mob had all the power in the world actually then to take it in. Now, I'm speaking metaphysical here, so this is all abstract, weird, just ideas. But
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yes, I'm not talking about power mechanics in this world, because Mob Psycho doesn't really go into that, really. So I think that actually Mob, having gone through this journey in season 2, where he learns who he is, but also to act in strength and confidence in who he is, and be hard on people.
Yeah, stand up for himself, and
he does that, and he goes through the whole stage of things in a lot of ways of what he learned with Mogami. So I think Mogami was this was a repeat in a way for him of what was Mogami. A very similar thing with this. But in a lot of ways, Suzuki had a hollow spot, not a filled with darkness and depravity spot. Meaning that if Suzuki's heart was hollow, Mogami's was clouded and murky and filled with despair and a bunch of other things that he had intentionally kind of put in there to fill maybe the void.
Yeah.
So then he ends up being able to have kind of a conversation with, well, not a conversation. I mean, Mogami eventually comes back and that whole thing happened there. And they end up kind of having an understanding. But Mogami, I don't think has truly been saved at this point.
No, I don't think so either.
But I think
he's still out there.
Right. Because Suzuki, however, was open. He could be filled with something.
Exactly.
Something could go there.
You cannot be filled when you're already full.
Right.
So the fact that he was empty made it so that exactly. Because basically, since it was all pride,
Yes.
it's physics right here. He has two cups that are full, right? Or actually, Mob's isn't. It is, but it isn't, or whatever. But
he's a growing person.
Right. Exactly. He's a growing person. So the cup's getting bigger.
Yep.
Dumps the pride into Mob.
Yep.
Now he's empty. He can be filled again.
Yeah.
And then Mob pours some of
just
his
anything.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Love.
And I think what's wonderful about the idea of seeing Suzuki as empty is his whole thing was being complete. He's like, I am the perfect being.
Right.
I am whole. In fact, he actually calls himself whole. If I remember, it was either 2 episodes ago. I think it was 2 episodes ago. He's like, I am a whole being. Like, I'm not missing anything.
And it's like, I am not everything.
He's like, I'm above the idea of being adequate. I have all that I would need. One of the most fundamental things about being a human being that they teach you in every culture, philosophy, everything, is that you are not a complete being.
The beginning of wisdom is knowing you know nothing.
Exactly. So it's beautiful that Mob basically went on this journey to be able to tell a dad who was hollow inside and had a family out there that still cared about him despite all this crap he had done. and was just blind to that and just basically showed him.
It's absolutely incredible.
It's wonderful because I see so many parallels back to Mob and Reagan. I see so many parallels putting back there. I mean, we can even forget Serizawa. Serizawa was amazing. I love that whole...
Yeah, but even just with this here...
Even just with Suzuki.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful because Mob saved Reagan. Mob saved Reagan. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? Like one of the best scenes in this whole dang show at this point.
And even then, it's like there are so many scenes that I want to say that about.
Oh yeah,
like,
I know. But we'll never forget that moment, right?
No.
When Mob basically forgave Reagan and basically was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Even though he still doesn't know that Reagan isn't psychic, I don't think. Maybe I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever,
it doesn't matter. The
details.
point is, when that scene happened with Suzuki and Mob in the whole psychic energy explosion thing of them being together down there, we then got a continuation of sorts with that scene when Sho and him talked, and Sho was like,
"Yep,
like we're still here." Like in a way, Sho is kind of pissed. He's pissed. Like, you made this happen,
right?
Like he's like, I tried to get you to stop, but you weren't gonna listen,
right?
So he's like, you didn't deserve to know that I was in contact with Mom,
right?
But I'm still going to tell you. You know that she's asking about you. She cares about you still,
and you still need to talk to her.
And you still need to talk.
You're
with her.
You're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah, you need to get an earful. I love that he's basically saying like, you need to sit there, shut up, and listen, and realize your inadequacy.
Right. Basically, now that you've emptied yourself of pride, hopefully,
yes,
you'll finally be able to get what you need, which is an earful.
An earful. Oh man, it was so perfectly obvious how they were setting up the scene with the mother, the wife, and and Suzuki, where she's all like, "Oh, and you think that power will keep everyone following you? That works for everyone?" He's like, "Of course. Bye, goodbye." She's just like, and he's so in his own echo chamber, like we were saying.
I love the shot where it zooms out and his shadow gets big and he gets real small.
Yeah, you mean when they're in the white open area and he opens the door? And,
yep, exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because the thing is that with his psychic powers, he could have forced her to stay there. Probably, like just physically taken over her mind, or physically restrained her, or whatever. But it's the idea that there's more than just right-handed power. There's more than just what you can directly force someone to do.
Right.
There's the heart, and you can't touch that with power.
Nope.
You can't. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
No.
I love that while the power of friendship was very much at play here, power of friendship was actually what strengthened Mob, but it wasn't what defeated Suzuki. Like I kind of want to retcon my
because he
my
wasn't
thing of
defeated by power. Like in a way he was, because he realized that he couldn't beat Mob. Right. That he came to his own limit.
Right. But one of the things that I want to preface this whole power of friendship, power of Nakama thing is that yes, you could say Suzuki was defeated by the power of friendship, but what this show has been about people making choices to develop and grow themselves.
Right. And
then there are other people who are locked in place. They're not willing to move forward and grow. There's basically, that's the simplest boiling down of the themes of this show. Yeah. Suzuki basically thought that he had hit, basically the top. So why does he need to go forward if there's nothing that's going to spur on his growth? Right. So he was operating out of basically, well, everything else is way down there to the point where my growth won't actually mean anything to them anymore. So he's comparing himself outward, which is funny because it's a connection thing. He's comparing. He's it's a little bit more adding to his own hypocrisy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in some ways, the fact that Mob was there, he thinks back to all these people, and we have what looks to be, I would say, a very classic power of friendship, power of Nakama kind of moment, which strengthens Mob, which I would say, yes, that is what it was. But if anything, I feel like what's more happening here is that Mob is realizing that he can grow from this. Like, this is something where this was all body improvement, like that little moment
Yeah.
where he's like, body improvement, fight
Fight
on.
on. Yeah,
it's
that
like,
was-
yeah, that's good cheese. I love that. That's some,
And-
that's the stuff where we went like, we love it.
And by the way, the whole thing of Suzuki being defeated by the power of friendship.
Yeah.
Here's the part that's important.
Okay, I'm not done with my thing, but keep going.
okay.
Yeah, keep going.
But
yeah.
he was defeated by the power of friendship. But most of the time, when bad guys are defeated with the power of friendship, the defeat is via their abilities, right? In that they are beaten, right?
Yes.
But Mob defeated him with the power of friendship when he had already done his deal. He had already lost, right?
Sure.
Right? But when he defeated him with the power of friendship, that was inside that bubble. That was by talking to him. And that's something like any prospective writers out there, if you want to make the power of friendship endings feel more real, have there be a conversation afterwards about that, maybe.
Sure.
Don't just have it end with some, our energy blasts or whatever, like what it could have been, what it was up till that point between Mob and Suzuki.
So I'm trying to basically make a point of saying that the power of friendship is used in other instances to be the thing that converts almost the enemy to being a friend. Basically, I beat you by just saying, but you're always gonna be my friend, and they're just like, oh no, I regret all my actions and everything like
gotcha.
that.
I thought you were talking about for like powering up the main character so that they can
and the
punch
other
the enemy really hard.
And the other version of that is the no, I have to protect them. Quick flash of all of the people. I won't give up on my friends.
Exactly.
You say run starts playing. That kind of thing I think is better than the other one. I mean, but with potatoes or whatever. But the thing with that, I'm struggling to communicate things here, but that is not really what Mob did here. I still don't even think it's that.
Well, because the thing is that is something where they're using the power of friendship to boost themselves,
so
that they can defeat the enemy,
right?
As opposed to directly giving the power of friendship to the enemy.
I think that might okay. I want to unpack that, but I still don't think that's it. I think he used that faith in his friends kind of thing to power up for sure, but I think that it was him basically just sitting there with him,
right, in
his suffering and in his in his explosion,
right,
and basically saying, I'll bear it.
Right.
I'll bear it. That's a more sacrificial thing than a power of friendship.
Well,
thing.
here's how I would say it is power of friendship. It's a power of friendship in a way that isn't usual, that you wouldn't think to be power of friendship, because we don't really see this much.
Okay.
But Suzuki was alone.
Okay.
And then Mob shows up and he just sits with him. And what's one of the best things a friend can do is just to be with you when you're having a rough time, right?
Okay, I like that.
And that's like that. and I feel like that's the offering that was basically made to Suzuki. And then because of that, that's how it was kind of the power of friendship. Because and to just say friendship, power of friendship, it's a cliche term, so you can lose the effect of what it was. But I would almost say that it's more akin to like a Disney movie of Love Conquers All.
Sure.
Because it was very much a sacrifice there.
True love's hug.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved the spectacle of the whole thing.
Yep, it was great.
They really escalated things ridiculously. The comedy was actually like really on point this episode. There were multiple like little random like, oh yeah, Taro being like, yeah, I should have like went with them to Reagan's place. I went to the office where it blew up, and he's like, oh. Oops, I went to the wrong place.
Right.
That was great. The whole thing of it being the broccoli seeds is just absolutely hilarious and genius, and what a ridiculous callback. Just like what? Like,
yep.
Huh? Nani? And also a callback to Mob's thing of, can you grow the food necessary? He's talking to the people at the convenience store.
Yep.
And Mob just did this.
Right. Yeah, it's showing that basically, while all the other psychics used their powers for destruction, Mob didn't. I mean, yes, he did, like, pick up a bunch of skyscrapers and throw them at him and all that stuff.
Or just the potential of psychic powers in general.
That it's about, that stuff like that can, again, come from the heart. The fact that they were on the heart is important. But,
yeah, that's just really cool. Serizawa getting the haircut and joining them and stuff like that. I'm so happy about that. When Serizawa was introduced, and the way he was kind of timid, and he had kind of the same kind of character design in the face, at least, of Mob, I was all like, oh, I'm pretty sure that this guy's going to be a parallel for Mob. Like, it just makes sense. I did not think they would go all the way to where he's basically now a buddy in the the spirits and such consultations office, like working there, and Mob is gonna be his senpai and teach him the ropes and things. It's like, wait, what?
What blows me away?
It's just
okay. So in the 12-step programs, if I recall correctly, the last step is to help someone else.
Yes, usually
to help take someone else through it.
Right.
And that's basically what they have set up for Mob here.
Yes.
That's what they have set up for Mob here.
True.
And he's been doing this, by the way. So like, you know, the whole thing with being there for Suzuki and all that stuff and getting that ball rolling. Yes. But then the fact that it's so on point. The parallel is so strong between Serizawa and himself. That's just it's the perfect broccoli piece on this finale. Like, yeah. I was going to say cherry on top, but I wanted something a bit more apt.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all.
Wow.
What a finale.
Mob Psycho season 2.
Mob Psycho season 2. I just want to say, like, the season overall had, like, a couple pacing things going on. Like, in terms of issues. But other than that, this was a nigh perfect anime season.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, now the question is like, okay, well, Mob Psycho season 1 or Mob Psycho season 2? And it's like,
2.
I mean, like, I kind of want to agree, but at the same time, it's like,
go back and rewatch Mob Psycho season 1. Season 2 is infinitely better.
Like, possibly, I don't know. Because the thing is, like...
Recency bias is obviously a thing.
Recency bias is definitely a thing.
For sure.
And it could definitely be an improvement. Because nostalgia bias is also a thing, right? Of it being the first one. But the fact that it helped me remember, just in case I forgot...
How good the show is.
Yes. You know, and because this first season really was absolutely insane. There's a reason I put it as a 9 out of 10 on Mal, I believe.
Yeah, this is the 9.5 or the
exactly.
The 9
it is on equal footing at the very least.
Oh,
so like I want you to understand just what that means when I say that, because the first season, holy crap, I loved it so much.
Yeah, I think what season 1 actually did that was crazy was they gave us something that we did not expect. And really went well with that. But if you're going to look at it critically and kind of give it a number, by the way, I hate giving things numbers.
Even just hearing that made me like,
yeah. So I would definitely know that season 2 is better, at least in my opinion. But I kind of need different numbering systems.
Right,
because there's no like great way to describe this other than Season 2 of Mob Psycho was really good. And it was, like, really good.
Yeah.
And if they can maintain this going into another season, like, because this is obviously not the end of the story.
Nope.
Like, this is obviously not the end. We have so much more now that we can go into. Yeah, I want it now.
But give Bones a break first.
Oh, Bones, yeah, you gotta like get prepped for MHA season 4. So have fun with that. But y'all, this was a show. This was a show, and looking forward to season 3 whenever it comes back. Maybe in a couple years. Who knows? Hopefully not that long. Hey, maybe they'll just wait. Go immediately next year. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
but y'all, if you want to see just other reactions and stuff like that,
because this was a seasonal
slot. There is not anything necessarily coming directly after this, although stay tuned for stuff regarding Attack on Titan Season
That's
3
true,
Part 2
that's
because
true.
that's coming
Soon,
really soon.
really soon,
Really soon.
When
So-
I'm not entirely sure, I should probably look that up.
Yeah, but we will be reacting to that.
Oh, yeah.
and that will be
yeah.
that will be a pleasure. But I'm just giving the gift people something to work with.
Sure.
So yeah,
Sure.
if you want to support us in any way, go check out our Patreon. Link is in the description below.
Yep.
There's early access reactions to other shows, full length timer-based reactions there. Any level support gets you access to our Discord where you can chat with us about stories. We can kind of discuss Mob Psycho Season 2 as a show now that it's all out. Or just hang out in general and chat about whatever. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.